Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who famously sought to step out from the shadow of his wrestling persona when he first transitioned into a full-fledged Hollywood career, reminded the world on Saturday night that some legacies are simply too powerful to leave behind. In an electrifying and unforgettable return to the WWE ring, The Rock reclaimed his title as one of the most iconic figures in professional wrestling history, sending shockwaves through the arena and reigniting the passion of millions of fans around the world. The atmosphere inside the State Farm Arena in Georgia was electric from the start, as the night had already seen an action-packed showdown between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes on one side and Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu on the other. Reigns and Rhodes had just secured a hard-fought victory, and the crowd was still buzzing with excitement as the two superstars celebrated in the ring. Cody, brimming with pride, hoisted his championship belt high above his head as a sign of triumph, basking in the cheers from the crowd. But just as the dust from the match seemed to be settling, the unthinkable happened. The unmistakable opening notes of The Rock's iconic entrance theme thundered through the arena's speakers, cutting through the noise and sending the crowd into an absolute frenzy. For a moment, time seemed to stand still as fans processed what was happening. Could it really be? Could the People's Champion be making his return to the place where he first made history? In that instant, the energy in the arena skyrocketed. Fans leapt to their feet, roaring with excitement as The Rock made his grand entrance. Dressed in his signature black gear, he walked down the ramp with the same swagger and confidence that had made him a household name during his wrestling prime. The entire stadium was on its feet, the deafening cheers of the audience drowning out any other sound. But The Rock wasn't just here to make a nostalgic appearance. As he walked down the ramp, the People's Champion belt in his hand, it became clear that he had a purpose. Cody Rhodes, standing tall in the center of the ring, his own championship belt held high, stared down The Rock as he approached. The tension was palpable, and the air was thick with anticipation. The crowd knew that this was more than just a friendly face-off. This was about power, dominance, and legacy. The Rock entered the ring and stood across from Cody, locking eyes with him in an intense stare that spoke volumes without a single word being exchanged. Slowly, deliberately, The Rock raised his hand and began counting down from 3 with his fingers. The gesture was simple, but the meaning behind it was clear: a challenge, a countdown to something much bigger than just a moment in the ring. Cody, refusing to back down, held his ground, his eyes never leaving The Rock's. The crowd watched in awe, fully aware that this was the start of something monumental. Then The Rock took the microphone, and the arena fell into a hushed silence, eager to hear what the legend had to say. The Rock is feeling a lot of things about what he just witnessed, he began, his voice steady and deliberate. The crowd hung on his every word, knowing that whatever he was about to say would have major implications for the future of WWE. There's been a bunch of bulls that's been going on in the past 6 months. He continued, referencing the chaos and controversy that had been brewing in the WWE universe. You want to know what the final boss was feeling about all that? The final boss will tell you, but the final boss will tell you when the final boss is ready to tell you. The arena erupted with cheers and gasps. The Rock, calling himself the final boss, had just set the stage for something much larger than anyone had anticipated. His cryptic message left the WWE universe buzzing with speculation, with fans already imagining what could come next. Was The Rock positioning himself for one last run at the top? Was he setting his sights on Cody Rhodes and his championship belt? And what exactly had he been referring to with his mention of the last 6 months of chaos? It wasn't just a casual appearance, and it wasn't just about nostalgia. This was about settling scores, claiming dominance, and redefining what it meant to be at the top of the WWE food chain. And as The Rock stood there, belt in hand, the message was clear: he wasn't here to play games. He was back to reclaim his place as the one true king of the ring. For fans who have followed The Rock's career from his early days as Rocky Maivia to his ascension as the People's Champion, this moment was a culmination of everything they loved about him. His ability to command the crowd, his larger-than-life presence, and his undeniable charisma were all on full display, reminding everyone that no matter how far he had gone in Hollywood, the WWE was his true home. And now, with his return, he was ready to remind the world why he was, and always will be, the Great One. The bad blood between The Rock and Cody Rhodes, which had been brewing for some time, was no secret to those in the WWE community. Their rivalry had deep roots, and while tensions had simmered in the background, Saturday night's event, appropriately named Bad Blood, brought those tensions to the forefront. The confrontation between the two legends was more than just a spectacle. It was the opening salvo in what promises to be one of the most explosive rivalries in recent WWE history. And with WrestleMania 41 on the horizon, the stakes couldn't be higher. Fans are already speculating that the ultimate showdown between The Rock and Cody Rhodes could take place on the grandest stage of them all. Could this be the final chapter in their long-standing feud? Or is it just the beginning of an even larger story? As the night drew to a close, one thing was clear: The Rock's return had reignited the WWE Universe. His presence, his words, and the unfinished business with Cody Rhodes had set the stage for an epic clash that could define the future of the company. WrestleMania 41 may still be months away, but the excitement is already building. Fans are eagerly waiting to see what The Rock's next move will be, and when he finally decides to reveal what the final boss is truly planning, the entire WWE landscape could be changed forever. In the meantime, the wrestling world will be watching closely, knowing that when The Rock speaks, the entire WWE universe listens. This is more than just a return, it's a statement. The Rock is back, and the road to WrestleMania has never looked more thrilling.